What a day. Boy, it was a busy day today, let me tell you. The boys worked hard. We got everything done that we needed to get done. We got that big field 12 cut, got that corn cut, chaffed, and put in the bunker. It's currently fermenting. Just out walking around, surveying my beautiful farm. And I tell you what, we really love living here in Colorado and Goldcrest Valley. The boys did get this field turned around pretty quick yesterday. We managed to plow it, cultivate it, and also seed it in grass. We really want to stockpile some hay, and I believe this field is going to be big enough to help us achieve that. Oh, look at that sky. Just love these summer days, longer days, and obviously nice mild nights up here in Colorado. You just can't really beat it. Man, it's getting late. I better get home. I need to get some shut-eye. We've got a big day tomorrow. Big day. Tomorrow we're going to be harvesting our early wheat. This was some stuff that we planted late last year, and it's available. We need to get it. We need to get it harvested, so we've got some straw. And yeah. Good night, everyone. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Grizzly Bear Sims YouTube channel. I appreciate you coming back. Had someone ask me in one of the YouTube videos recently, I think it was the one that was published on Wednesday, maybe episode 11, that they wanted to know if you could harvest eggs on this map. And yes, you can. The eggs will appear in this basket here, so don't be confused by what I said in episode 12 about the fact that my middle son collected the eggs and placed them here. That was just part of the storyline, but basically your eggs will spawn here in this basket, and this basket is located excuse me, this basket is located at your back door. This is where you spawn into the game when you start a new game on this map. This is where you spawn into, and the eggs are collected here in this basket. So if we walk over here where our chickens live, these are our beautiful free-range chickens. They're not kept in cages or any fenced in. They're very well mannered, and they will just stay right in this area here. You will notice that there won't be any eggs laying around. There is a gold nugget over there. We're not after collecting the gold nuggets. We did that in the original Goldcrest Valley map. If we see one, well, I suppose we can always pick it up. But your eggs won't be visible here, so unlike the default Goldcrest Valley, where you collect your eggs up here, Stevie has those eggs magically being transported into the basket that again is at the back door here where you spawn into. So that's where you collect your eggs, and so yeah, so that's how you collect eggs on Goldcrest Valley, Stevie's edit. All right, so we've got a big day today. Now, I know in episode 12, I think I might have said that we would come back to that same game day. Basically, there was nothing else to do. The corn was the only thing. We'll pull up our little map here. And again, don't pay a whole lot of attention to the stuff that's going here. I'm sort of keeping track of when some of these fields are coming due for harvest. Obviously, our corn can be harvested. We're in the early stages here. We've got not crop destruction, but we've got plant weathering turned off just because, again, our focus is on seasonal farming as best as possible, and we're going to obviously let a lot of this stuff go beyond what would be considered the withering scale here in Farming Sim 17, just simply because we're on a little bit different time scale. And obviously, again, there wasn't a lot to do yesterday. After we harvested the corn, we went ahead and turned that field around. So we took our field number 12 and we planted that in grass just simply because we need a big field, a big area This won't be permanent because we'll want to flip this back around to something else because since it's centrally located here to the farm. But we went ahead and sowed field 12 with grass because I think that that will give us pretty much all the hay that we will probably need. Um, and once that's ready, we will obviously mow that, tedder it, rake it, and bale that for hay. Let's see. Our silage was covered and fermented overnight. It should probably be ready because I think it only takes about 6 game hours for that to occur. The boys are actually already got us staged and ready to go for this day's activities. We're going to be harvesting wheat, and at some point, obviously, we'll be baling that, and um, we'll need to collect some more, probably mow some grass that isn't yet. I don't think the field is ready yet, but 32 and 19 might be ready again, and it's possible that we can get some hay out of that because we are going to be, obviously, if we switch over to our animal HUD here, our animal information page, I always go the wrong way. We have to, we're getting low on power food. I think I'm at a point to where we'll no longer need to purchase any straw or hay from the store because we should be able to at some point today. And today's game day, day 5, we're in midsummer, will probably be multiple episodes just because we have enough to do. And we won't obviously be doing everything within this particular episode. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get Stan working on doing a little bit of spraying. We've got just a little bit that needs to be done. And so we're going to get him going in our very nice self-propelled New Holland sprayer. Stevie's fields here are large enough. Let's see, I think that one's granule. I think this one is liquid. We'll go ahead and fill him up here. Stevie's fields are nice size enough where you can take advantage of some of this larger equipment. Obviously, with field 12 being enlarged beyond more than what it was with the default map, you've really got an opportunity to bring in some large scale equipment just to kind of help you out because obviously some of the smaller in-game or default equipment that comes with some of these maps is just quite small. But let's go back to this page. This is what I wanted to see here. Now, here's a question for some of you guys, just to kind of step out of character here for a moment. Look at field number 12. So field number 12, yesterday after we cut the corn and turned that into chaff and did all that work, and what a kerfuffle that was. But we plowed field 12. If we go over here and look at needs plowing, see it doesn't need plowing. We plowed it, we cultivated it, and we fertilized it once, and we sowed it with grass. We've got these blotches, and you'll see these in other areas as well. These lines. Got some lines up here, some blotches, some areas that are fully fertilized, areas that are medium, and areas that are not at all. I think this is due to the Growth Manager mod. I'm not 100% certain. Perhaps Reefy, Mike, if you're using that mod, I think you are. Are you seeing that as well? And I don't want to take it out because it's gonna mess up our growth schedule, I believe, because I believe I have it set to something that's even slower than what the default slow setting provides on the map or in the game. So yeah, and it's not. I mean, I'm not worried about it. I'm not panicked about it. I'm not gonna bail on what we're doing here. Let's see. Did they finally? Good. Okay, they finally fixed crop destruction. Now, you might remember I use a different crop destruction mod. I use a crop destruction mod that doesn't hurt the grass. Because normally if you use the crop destruction that's available through ModHub, that still, the tractors and such driving around through the grass damages the grass. I'm using a modded version of that, and it's gone through several iterations or versions, and up until just really recently, like a week or so ago, that version did not acknowledge the thin tires. And not that I have an issue with tram lines in the fields, but it just wasn't working right. So yeah, so we're going to go ahead and hire a worker and get him working here. It's not he's not perfectly lined up, but I think it'll be close enough for government work here. So we're going to bounce back down to the farm, and we'll just great demand. Corn, 12 hours. Okay. Well, we may actually be able to take advantage of that great demand, because right now our priorities are going to be wheat, to get the windrow from that, or to get the straw from that, sorry. And that's going to be our first priority. Our second priority is going to be probably finding some grass to mow, either in the other fields down there, either in 32 and 19, if those are ready, or we may just have to go out and find a large area somewhere that is suitable enough that we can at least get a little bit of grass, and then get down there and tedder it and rake it and bale it, and just for short-term use. So as I said, the boys are all set up, ready to go. They're just basically waiting on me to get down there. So we're going to just drive over to field number 16, which is what we're going to be harvesting. That's our first wheat crop that's available right now. So we're just going to come over here, and while we're here, we can actually check on. It looks like that grass is ready. So I think we'll be able to just do field 19, and probably what we will do is with field 19, we'll just park on this side of the tracks here. With field number 19, we will most likely cut it, tedder it, rake it, bale it, and then probably cultivate this and turn this into something else, since we're going to have that big field 12 that's going to be available probably the next game day. It should be ready, I think. All right, so we need to get our harvester running. Boy, this is a beautiful summer day here in Goldcrest Valley. I'm really looking forward to getting to work. We've got, I think from here out, we're going to have a lot to keep us busy, perhaps a little bit of variety and whatnot. So should be interesting. All right, so we're unfolded, we're all ready to go and everything. Let's turn us on. Let's make sure we are leaving straw, and we are. And then we're just going to hire and let Billy Bob go ahead and handle that. All right, so like I said, we're in game day 5, so we've made a lot of progress over the few episodes that we have done since we have sort of stabilized ourselves, regrouped ourselves, and put ourselves on Goldcrest Valley. Now, between today and real life, today is Friday, otherwise known to other Americans as Black Friday. It's possible that some of you guys were drug out from your beds at the wee hours of the night to maybe go with your wives shopping, or maybe you just had said, nope, you can do that, you can go shopping. I won't prevent you from doing that. But yeah, it's today that essentially retailers retailers mark items up, stack them high, and make you think that you're actually getting a really good bargain. Um, if you would have bought, possibly if you'd have bought the same items last week or the week before, and you'd actually save a buck or two. Now, I don't know if, I mean, yes, there are some things that are obviously less expensive today on Black Friday than they were yesterday. That was kind of a joke, um, but I think there's also a lot of truth to that some things, you know, if a retailer stacks them high and puts a big price tag on it, that, you know, your subliminal subconscious mind thinks that, well, that's a good deal, so therefore we should go out and grab that. But anyway, today is, so if you have watched episode 12, which came out today on Friday, Black Friday, obviously I'm recording this on the same day that occurred, and I recorded episode, I actually recorded episode 12, so let me just get my bearings straight here, because I think what we're doing here, this is actually going to become episode 13. Wow, unlucky number, but that's okay. We can deal with that. Anyway, between the time that I recorded episode 12, which I did on early Thanksgiving morning before I put the turkey in the oven and all that good stuff, let me just stop talking and get over here and get this guy fired up. We have some news, some farming sim news, in a sense, and we got two different pieces of farming sim news. First being that there was an update for Farm Simulator 17 that came out on the morning of Thanksgiving for us here in the US. That was the 24th of November. Let's see. Can he? Yep, that's close enough. It should have been a little bit further over, but that'll work. I just want to empty him here before he fills up, since we want to take advantage of not trampling through the wheat. But so there was an update that came out for Farm Sim 17. So we're currently on version 1.3.1. I really don't know well, I do know, that would be a lie. There's a long list of things that this update, this 1.3.1, advertises that it fixes, or it changes, or it resolves, or whatever you want to say there. In addition to that, Stevie released an update for his Goldcrest Valley edit. I believe his update is version his update would be version 1.0.0.5. Now we're still on .4. According to Stevie's Facebook page, as well as his post in the PCSG forums, it requires a new game. And I will tell you that for right now, the level of effort, the frustration and everything that I had with the whole silage stuff, I don't want to start a new game, because I don't think, while I can, Mahavo released a video about a week ago or so on how to edit your XML files to accommodate a map change that requires a new game start. And while I'm pretty sure that we can do things such as move over all of our equipment, someone else had recommended in a forum I was reading yesterday that in addition to doing the XML edit for bringing over all of your equipment and everything, it's wise, especially if there are changes to like barn or vehicle storage sheds and stuff like that. If you've got equipment in those, just pull all that equipment out and go park that equipment in the middle of a field, and that way you're safe that you're not going to have anything clip if there are some changes to like buildings or structures or things of that nature. But while I could do that, I don't think that there is a way, at least I don't know of a way, to edit the XML file to accommodate, for example, a bunker full of fermented silage. And we really need that silage, and I really don't want to go through the process of replanting, and because I also don't think you can necessarily, without going into Giant's editor, I don't think that you can have fields already planted and more or less ready to go. So anyway, so what that means is, for now, unless I discover something that is catastrophic, that essentially doesn't allow the map to function with this version of Farming Sim 17 1.3.1, for now we will remain on 1.0.0.4 of Stevie's edit. Stevie, according to the update that he placed in PCSG forums, the update details for 1.0.05 are as follows. 3 new foliage layers added to the map painted with the new layers and key areas, area and field changes made at fields 11, 2, and 13. Access to free water from field 11 has been added. New farmyard texture added. New hangers added to the yard, which were his placeable versions. Night lighting had been added to the sheds, and prices have been adjusted. I think that was, let's see, there's more. Ground detailing finished in the map. The map was transferred to the new game version, which is 1.3.1 base map from Giants. Wood trailer trigger moved at the main sawmill. Well, we're not planning on doing any forestry, or at least not on a large scale. Lake access improved at the main sawmill. Again, not a big deal for us. PDA updated with the new area changes. Not a big deal. The map was re-optimized yesterday to get rid of all the junk files. That's kind of a big, that could be a big deal, but I think my system is okay to handle that for now, and I haven't really noticed that much of an issue. Map size in megabytes has been reduced due to optimization. Again, since we've already got the map downloaded, not a big deal. All the trees were replaced in the map with new models for upload. Small shelter added to the sheep meadow. Small tweaks to objects around the map that got in the way. And then finally, there's more, but you won't notice. He had put a pig food silo delivery sort of function into the map. This would have been in the .5 release, but he had to remove that. So if you read about that on his Facebook page, he did have to remove that functionality because there was something that Giants changed in the 1.3.1 update that caused some problems with that functionality. So he did remove that. So we basically don't have that. But that, again, that's not a big deal for me. Either we'll buy the pig feed outright, as I was kind of talking about in episode 12, and just move it ourselves down. The method that I use, using the IT runner skip, kind of works well for that. Or we will begin feeding our pigs via the materials that we produce on our farm. Now, of course, the 1.3.1 changes, there's a whole list of those, and if you're really interested in what all was included, what fixes and everything were included, I would suggest that there's a thread on PCSG that discusses that, and you guys need to get over there and register for an account anyway, because in 5 days or so we're going to be kicking off that contest where we'll open that thread up so that you can post a comment in that thread about cattle and crops, what you're looking forward to seeing in that, or how excited you are about cattle and crops or whatever, so that you can be entered for that giveaway. So you're going to want to do that. I've talked about that plenty of times, and so just go over to pc-sg.uk, register for an account, and then on December 1st you can respond to that thread and then be entered into the contest. But there is a thread that discusses all the 1.3.1 changes there. Again, I'm not seeing anything that is of a major issue. Certainly I understand why Stevie released his 1.0.0.5 map to after the 1.3.1 changes. It's possible that, to him as a map developer, there was significant things that changed that he wanted to take advantage of, and I appreciate that. It's just that I think where we are, because we've had so many problems with the other two maps that I tried doing the seasonal stuff with, that I just don't want to have to start all over. And I think for the most part, I think you guys will understand that. What I can do is, as I take a drink of coffee, is I do plan to download the map, and I will add it to a game save, and I'll fire it up and just take a look at it, and I may, if there's a wow factor in it, I may show it to you guys in a video. But at least for now, I am not planning on switching to that version. And if somebody knows of a way, to put silage in a bunker, then that's my biggest issue right there. Is, I know how to edit to, right now we don't really have, well, we have some grain that we're going to be adding to storage here, obviously, but we don't, that's not a real big deal. Really, the time saver for me would be having to restart the map and get all these fields reseeded and get them back to a point of where we are. If we really do choose to go to that map, if nothing is available, then after we've done our full seasonal harvest, then I might say, okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to obviously be starting over with spring, and then we'll start a new game on the new version of the map. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. And to be quite honest with you, I think this update came after I recorded episode 12, because when I got up yesterday morning, I was up quite early, and I checked the forums, I checked a few things before I started recording, and when I turned on the computer and everything, I turned it on, and then I went and got coffee and everything. So it's possible that Steam could have downloaded the update then, but from what I was reading in some of the forums, Steam didn't get the update until sometime later in the morning. And so I'm thinking that I recorded pretty much all, episode 12 with 1.3.0, but obviously this is 1.3.1, and so let's see. No, into cover. Let's see, what's the pipe out? Pipe out is O. I don't know if we have enough room. Did they leave us enough room between this wheat and, yeah, they did. So obviously we're going to be jumping down to this field Huh, why can't I unload into that tipper? Is that tipper not, does it not take wheat? Have I, it should. Or do you have to do control? I don't want to spill this on the ground. And that's what's happening, is it's going over the trailer there. Why? Let me double check that. Why is that not? That's that Joskin. It takes wheat. Interesting, 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 interesting. All right. Well, this is the in-game. This is the in-game auger wagon. That was the in-game tipper. So I'm not running any mods from that perspective. And okay, I realized I wouldn't drive across these rows of straw here, but I don't think this would have anything to do with the map. Jump over and am I too close? Am I too interesting? Very, very interesting. Okay, well, I've got 43,000 liters of wheat that I'm not sure if I can do anything with. Can I, okay, I tell you what, let's just park that here for now. Boy, I wanted to do that. Let's just go run this thing around. I mean, I can obviously get the wheat out of there. I can dump it on the ground and then shovel it up. But man, that's a lot of wheat to have to shovel up. But that's not that big of a deal. The bigger deal is, why won't that work? It's supposed to work, right? Let's let him finish emptying, and then we will move him down to field number 24. Anyone else seen that problem? And if you know of a solution, again, I can't think of how it could be the map that would be causing that. But clearly, you know, anything is possible, I suppose. But I don't think it would be the fact that we're on a slightly older version of, well, I mean, it's not that old. It was only old as of yesterday morning when Giants released 1.3.1. But, and yeah, we're going to be making straw here. But that's just a bit, that's a bit unsettling. Because I wanted to kind of use that approach versus this approach, because that way I could, once this guy was full, I could run him up to an empty, and then, you know, oh well. Maybe I found the first bug. Well, I'm sure I'm not the first person to have discovered this, but maybe I found a bug with 1.3.1. I don't know if that worked the way I was trying to do it in 1.3.0, but I'll certainly have to I'll have to post that on the forums and see what is see what's what. Decent yields out of these fields, getting almost 50% of the harvester filled up in a you know, one and a half rows, so that's pretty good, I suppose. I don't really have anything to base that calculation on. I've never, well, I don't recall what sort of yields I was getting when I played just the regular default Goldcrest Valley. I don't remember what that was, and obviously we were using a smaller harvester. Let's just for grins see. I'm not expecting this to work like this, but I don't think we can. I don't think that we're going to get any sort of different tip options out of this. Unload here, but I'm not going to create a pile under there. Certainly not. Nope. So we'll just tip it out on the ground and shovel it, and that'll be fine. Again, I'm not really sure why this isn't working correctly. Darn, darn, darn. You know, I like for things to function as they're supposed to. You know, function as designed. Well, maybe it is functioning as designed. Maybe they just didn't design it very well. And unless I'm missing something, which I will completely accept the fact that I have, you know, screwed something up. But I know that in 15 I used, although it was a modded auger wagon. We're gonna get a screen print here. It was a modded auger wagon just because I wanted a little bit bigger capacity. It wasn't an unrealistic capacity. It was just a little bit larger. I forget which mod it was, but that worked fine because I even did that in Paradise Hills. I think if you remember when we harvested something on that really big field, maybe it was corn, can't remember. We harvested something on that really big field that was just down below the sheep farm there. I used an auger wagon and used course play, and it worked just fine. But not a big deal. Now it's possible I could try to dump anywhere from that auger wagon into maybe a cell point if there was enough room. I don't know if you can dump direct from the auger wagon into a cell point. I may just try that before I end up dumping it all on the floor, because let's see where we're selling wheat at the highest. Denton Bakery. There might be room at Denton Bakery to get that auger pipe directly over the cell point. Let's see, what cell point is that? 9, Jeeves Winrow, Jeeves Mill. Oops, let's see, Jeeves Winrow. Yeah, they won't take. Jeeves Mill will take wheat, 703. That could be a good test. Jeeves Mill. We could try it. Well, I mean, what do we have to lose? If it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know? So let me empty him just quickly, and then we will go grab the auger wagon, run it back down here, and then try to dump it right over there at Jeeves Mill. By the way, if you watched my extremely difficult efforts at trying to do all this chaff yesterday and compact it and stuff like that, I did. Johnny V, who is a member of PCSG, a very active member of PCSG, and you may know Johnny V. You know, he created Sosnovka Not, which is a new map based on Sosnovka for Farming Sim 17. It's a great version of Sosnovka if you've not played Sosnovka, or if you're just looking for some variety and want to get away from the typical Giants default map, I would highly recommend that you try that. I think he just released a new version here recently, and I would come over to PCSG and you can find that map. He provided me some pointers because I sort of after I recorded the video, I went to PCSG and I'm like, okay, you know, Farming Sim 17 has been out for almost a month, but I'm just now getting to a point to where that I'm doing, you know, cutting corn for chaff and doing the whole silage process in a silage bunker. And is this, you know, is this a pain for everybody, or am I just doing something completely wrong? And I sort of went into the fact that I felt that, you know, Giants has made so much progress in so many different areas with regards to the differences or the variations between, you know, 15 and 17, but yet the whole silage process, again, sort of, in my opinion, they've sort of taken a slight step backwards. And so this is going to be highly unrealistic, okay? So bear with me. I think this is the sell point here. And are we going to be able to even do this? Pipe out. It's going to clip probably. Of course, we may get the thing stuck. Okay, but I don't think it's actually, I don't think it's selling, because our money didn't go up and I don't know where it's dumping, and clearly we're not going to be able to get to it under there. So okay, not a big deal, you know. We tested it, and my stupidity of even trying it hopefully will prevent anyone else from wasting their time in attempting to try to do it. That's the straw point there. So not even gonna try that. Let's see. Yeah, that's where windrow goes. So the mill is behind, and the windrow is there. All right, no big deal. No big deal. So anywho, Johnny V had suggested that, you know, the approach that I should have taken was somewhat, well, I knew that you needed to make sure that as you're tipping out the chaff that you've got to keep your tractor and tipper moving. You don't want to let it all pile up on one end. And we actually honestly gave that a solid go, a solid effort in trying to keep it from going piling up that way. But his suggestion, or what he does, is every other load that he dumps, he compacts, and he doesn't mess with the blade and any of that stuff. I think the blade sort of made it a little bit worse. He just drives over it with a full loaded tractor and tipper with a front weight on it, and then dumps it, and that's what he does, just rinse and repeat. So let's go down, we'll empty him, and then we will bring the combine up and do field 23, I think it is. All right. So absolutely, I'm not gutted like I was when I recorded. I tell you what, if you want to, I didn't, I keep everything G-rated because I understand that, there's people of all ages watching my streams, and actually I don't use, or I try not to use, vulgar language in real life, certainly outside of my gaming stuff. But unless I hit my thumb with a hammer or something like that, then pretty much. But anyway, I was, when I had reached the point with, I believe it was North Brabant, where I had spent several days, many hours recording about 3 to 4 episodes. I had released, I believe, 1, and reached a point where I realized that it wasn't going to work, because the way the cow, where the cow cleanliness and the sheep cleanliness and the pig cleanliness, the way all that sort of was messed up, I'm like, okay, this is just, this just isn't going to work. I was, what are we doing? Why don't you go? There you go. I was upset, and because I sort of realized that I had wasted this time, and we'll go ahead and head up and empty. But I had wasted this time that obviously I didn't want to release those videos because, well, the end result wasn't going to be successful. And so yeah. Bring up that menu because I just want to make sure. Maybe it's, maybe it is a map issue, but I don't. No, we've got the unload. Let's pull up just a little bit. We've got the I for unload, so. Okay, I was starting to panic there just a little bit, thinking, okay, well, maybe it truly is a map issue. If I hadn't got that unload trigger, then that would have been a bit disappointing. But anyway, I'm sorry, I'm rambling a bit here, just because I didn't bother testing that I would be able to use the auger wagon, because I just assumed, and I know what that means when you break that word down, but I had just basically assumed that it was going to function, because again, it's a default auger wagon, default tipper, and I just sort of assumed that it was gonna work. Let's see, we need to actually back up and move slightly out of his way, because he is at 60%. He should be able to turn. Get rid of that. All right, well, we are approaching our magic 60-minute mark. I do apologize for episode 12 being over an hour. Try to keep my videos to under an hour, just because it's easier for me to do it in that blocks of time. I know it's easier for you guys to consume it, watch it in that amount of time, and of course it's also easier for me to edit and upload and all that kind of stuff. So I think what I will do is I will cut this video here, so basically end this video here, and then I will off camera finish the wheat harvest, and then bring us back in probably within 30 minutes or so of game time. Bring us in about 30 minutes or so, and we will bale this wheat. And I'll probably take the time to clean up the animals and check their food levels and stuff like that, because we've done that a couple of times. And again, I'm trying not to be repetitive. You know, obviously there's things that we probably need to cover because it's part of the farmer's day, it's part of the farmer's life. But I'm trying not to be too overly repetitive with things, just so that the videos don't become massively boring. It's boring enough just because I'm recording them, but I'm really trying to keep from repeating things. But that's going to be a challenge as well, because obviously there's all this stuff that we've got to do, and over the next several videos there's going to be a lot of harvest that you're probably going to see, and I'll try to make that interesting. I'll try to maybe just do some time lapse of some of this stuff and see how that works out, and but we'll just go from there. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I appreciate that. Please take time to like and subscribe if you have not already done so. And also, please don't forget, December 1st is when we start the contest over at PCSG. I'm sure you would really love to have a copy, an early release copy of Cattle and Crops. And so if you haven't already purchased that or signed up for the Kickstarter program, then obviously you could take advantage of this giveaway. And again, the contest will run through the month of December. We'll be collecting those that respond to the forum thread, putting their names into an Excel spreadsheet, assigning a number to those entries, and then I will be taking that information, dumping it into a random number generator, and then allowing it to pull a number out, and then we will reward those 3 prizes based on that drawing and that number generator process. So again, thank you all for watching. We're down here harvesting wheat. We found the problem with the auger wagon. I'll see if I can learn something between now and the time that we come back for the next episode, which obviously, as I said, will be maybe about 30 minutes or so elapsed between this day and the next day. And maybe in that span of time I can find out if that is a known issue with that auger wagon. And so we'll go from there. So thanks for watching. I appreciate it. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.